Taxi drivers contemplate passing on a highway maintenance levy to passengers in higher bus fares. Over 200 college students to graduate from State College as the institution returns to a summer break commencement ceremony, and more effective representation for teachers as one of their own is elected on the Board of Education International. I am Edona and Baptiste of the Channel 5 News. Details coming up.
And don't waste time, eh? You know we deliver all over Dominica. The customer waiting for their product. All right?
Good afternoon. Delivery from Muslim store. Anybody home?
Whether you rent or you have your own home, the Muslim store is the place to get what you need. We deliver.
This is freedom, this is life. Happiness is all I'm seeking. Carpe diem, I'm seizing every day, not just the weekend. Here's to all the good times that
when you can afford what you crave, life just gets so good.
I'm so alive and I'm feeling good, so good, so good, so good. Hey,
KFC, so good for everyone.
Here's a cool way to make some quick cash with the Dominica National Lottery. Simply go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Dominica National Lottery, and like our page. Fill out a simple form and that's it. Every week, one lucky fan will win $250. Yep, 250 big ones just for liking our page. How cool is that? So what are you waiting for? Hurry to facebook.com/Dominica National Lottery and start winning. Draw takes place every Friday.
let's be conscious and beware. The climate is changing everywhere. Let's promote more healthy lands to withstand the change at hand. Grow and plant a tree. Let's restore the forest be a lot more conservative with our farming practices. Keep our environment more clean and green. Put an end to all the polluting. For it is our natural beauty we promoting. Let us be resilience against the hurricanes. Stronger homes in our communities. Make a change. Let us be proactive. Rally, rethink, rally, restore and oppose the pollution. Promote more water conservation. Whoa. Rally, rethink, rally, respond. Plant around the river banks. Sustain the water on the land. Yeah, yeah.
Climate change is real. Our actions do matter. Rally, rethink, respond. A message from the OECS and USAID.
It was great last year, and we're doing it even bigger this year. Clothing designers, this is a call for you. It's your chance to win $2,500 in cash in the Quartz Fashionista Fashion Competition. All you have to do is design a piece of clothing inspired by one of our fashionable pieces of furniture for your chance to win. Participants will then be selected based on design submission and proceed to take part in the biggest fashion competition to showcase their creation. Furniture selection must be made from our newest furniture brochure, so pick one up at a Quartz store quickly. Quartz Fashionista Fashion Competition. Bigger and better than before. So sign up if you dare. Deadline to submit registration forms and designs is August 14. Quartz, bringing value home.
Welcome back. First up in the news, a family of 7 was almost left homeless after a freak fire threatened their home in Newtown on Tuesday night. Lorian Graham Carter has this report.
Kendra Stevens, who lives just next door to the site of the fire, had just returned home from a meeting when she was notified by her neighbors of a fire in the vicinity.
I was coming home from a meeting, say about 10 to 9, thereabout, 9 o'clock. And when I came home, I went to check my daughter. I spoke to my mother about 5 minutes after, then I heard somebody saying, fire, fire. I opened my door, I saw fire next door, in the wooden, there was a wooden building right next door. I just went in my room, my baby was sleeping, I just grabbed and I came outside. Everybody was trying to out the fire, who took buckets to, the fire ambulance was called, they came, they stayed there for more than an hour, maybe 2 hours plus, and they outed the fire. This is what happened. We have a lot of damages. One is structural. We have 3 bedrooms here. The windows are busted, doors are busted. Bedrooms, well, beds. A lot of stuff, clothing materials are gone, basically.
Well, I work by Suki's. I was at work and I heard a man coming running down the road saying there's a big fire lower down Newtown. So there was a lady standing by the doorway and she said, the big fire, we were on the right side. So when I got up and I came to watch, I saw it was like on the right side where I live and it looking like the distance from my work to my home. And I tried calling, I wasn't getting nobody at home. Then I started checking up for me to leave work. Then I get my sister and she told me the fire is by home. When I came home, the wooden house was blazing on fire, big smoke. And then it was like starting to come in the house. When I tried to come in, I saw the fire was trying to come in the house, but then I had to go outside because it was smoking up. And then at the end of it, I saw the back of my home, my mother and father's room, which got damaged. Everything got burned, clothes, shoes, everything.
This is a relatively new building for us because we're renovating, well, almost a year now. It's not even a year, but getting to it. And to see that a fire just out of the bloom just destroyed a lot of our property, it's kind of heartbreaking because you see all your struggles and your hard work just gone in vain. But I guess one day at a time, God is good. We will survive.
Stephen's brother Damien Scotland is now homeless after the place where he slept was completely destroyed by the fire. He says he has no choice but to clean up the rubble and prepare it for him to sleep tonight, since he has nowhere else to go. This is the second time that the family has been affected by a fire, but they are optimistic since they have help from the community. I am Lurian Graham Carter, reporting for Channel 5 News.
On to other top stories. The Dominica Taxi Association is considering opening up discussions over an increase in bus rates as a highway maintenance levy is imminent. The highway maintenance levy, which takes effect on September 1st, will cost drivers of privately registered vehicles $100 and commercial vehicles and trucks $150 for a year. The 40-year-old Dominica Taxi Association is a non-governmental body looking after the affairs of bus and taxi operators.
Many factors contribute to an increase in fares, like price of vehicles, maintenance, spare parts, fuel, and of course the taxes on like the highway maintenance fee. But by itself, that does not warrant an increase. This could trigger the negotiation. But asking for an increase is because you got the government implementing a road highway levy. It's not justified. The last time we got the increase 8 years ago, license was $750 or whatever, it's $730. Now it's $150 more.
The circumstances surrounding the last increase of bus fares had to do with a fuel price increase. The Dominica Transport Board, chaired by the police chief, advises the minister responsible for transport matters on transport fares, rates and license duties and fees related to vehicles. Therefore, the Taxi Association has to make any proposals for an increase in fares to the Transport Board.
You compare your last submission, your detail of the last submission, and you do a study of the present situation, and you justify where there have been an increase in whole operating cost of the vehicle and etc. And then you make your assess and make your recommendation. Because of the 8 years we have not had an increase, I think it is sooner than later.
Against this background, Campbell says bus and taxi drivers are operating in a financially challenging environment.
I think the supply is much more greater than the demand now with the commuting buses. I think there may be a bit too many on the road, and not enough people moving or not enough business to sustain them. During the cruise ship season, which is from October to April, May, it's much lucrative on the road, I would say. The commuters, those who do on the road, it's much easier because you would find 20–30% of those on the route would have moved over to do the cruise ship, and that will allow space for those on the road to make a better earnings.
On the education scene, August 19th will mark a special day in the lives of 268 college students as they prepare to graduate from the Dominica State College. The Dominica State College has reverted to staging its graduation ceremony during the summer break after many years. Normally, that graduation ceremony would have taken place in October. DSC's registrar says the move is in response to demands by the student population.
Some students are claiming that in October they have already gone on, move on with their life. Many of them want to start further studies overseas, which they will start in September, and they probably challenge it to Dominica in October. Others who stay on island may have commenced work, and again to be asking for it soon after you started work. So we found it best to experiment, as I would say, with an August ceremony. We used to have a July graduation, but we found that with preventing students, we needed to complete in summer to complete on time.
Edwards says changing the graduation from July to October allowed students to obtain additional credits during summer classes to qualify to graduate. Now management has adjusted to step up processing students' grades from summer classes to be ready for an August graduation. 26 out of the over 200 graduates will graduate with honors. 2 nurses will also graduate with a Bachelor of Science in Nursing degrees. The RN to BSN program is designed for working registered nurses who wish to earn a second degree.
So that's the third time we'll be graduating students from that program. As you know, it's the RN to BSN. They would have completed their RN program, be licensed nurses, and then return to us. In the next 4 years, we will be graduating the direct entry Bachelor of Science degree because they are beginning in, 3 more years because they began last year, the direct entry.
Nursing is the first and only bachelor's degree which DSC has been offering. Edwards envisioned enrollment for the RN to BSN program would have attracted a larger population.
Well, maybe not as we expected because many of the nurses had access to those programs overseas, that's the RN to BSN, but the direct entry, we have very good reviews. Many students want to do it. We're hoping to start another group in September if we have sufficiently qualified students, because the students first need to obtain a high enough grade point average in the pre-health program in order to attend it. So we do have many interested persons, although not all of them meet the criteria within the time that they would want to start.
In more news, certified track and field coach 36-year-old Junior Thomas of Loubier will represent Dominica at this year's Mr. Caribbean competition.
Junior Thomas will compete against 6 other young men from the Caribbean. They will compete in performing talent, magnificent wear, formal wear, and an interview segment.
The Mr. Caribbean pageant provides a platform for Caribbean men to share their talents and make a contribution to culture and entertainment. I encourage the business community to support my bid to be the next Mr. Caribbean, as I intend to give my best representation for my country, Dominica. I am inviting you to the Arrow House of Culture on August 29th at 8 p.m. for a show of class and glamour.
The other delegates announced at the launch on Tuesday are Jeffrey Bergen Jr. of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Paul Charles of Guyana, Ursula Charles Jr. of Antigua and Barbuda, Alfonso Henry of Nevis, Crispin Benjamin of St. Lucia, and Michael Redhead of Grenada. Creator of the Mr. Caribbean show says it was born out of the Mr. Dominica show held in 2012, founded against the backdrop of the disappearing male in society as it related to avenues that showcase the talent in this region.
In Dominica alone, there is the Miss Princess show, Miss Teen show, Miss Teen Dominica, Miss Wabduet, Madam Wabduet, Miss Plus Size, Mother's Queen Show, Miss Marigot, Miss West Coast, Miss Noel, and so on. I can go on and on. The list goes on to include a host of other shows that allow their female counterparts to express themselves in various formats and in various fora and pursue future opportunities via scholarships, etc. And there was nothing for young men.
Mora wants Dominicans to value the show as she believes it helps put Dominica on the map. Show takes place 29th of August at Arawak House of Culture.
You're watching Channel 5 News. Coming up, plans to enhance educational opportunities in Castle Bruce. Stay with us.
Cashwiz is the one-of-a-kind pawn shop in Dominica. We'll trade all your old and used appliances for cash, grant loans applicable to the value of your vehicle and other appliances. A community service-oriented organization actively involved in building communities and empowering the young while partnering with social groups for nation building. So come to Cashwiz Dominica on the corner of Stibble Street and St. Johnson's Avenue, Pottersville, Roseville. Call us today at 440-5555. Check us out on Facebook or email dominica@cashwiz.com.
Here's a cool way to make some quick cash with the Dominica National Lottery. Simply go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Dominica National Lottery, and like our page. Fill out a simple form, and that's it. Every week, one lucky fan will win $250. Yep, 250 big ones just for liking our page. How cool is that? So what are you waiting for? Hurry to facebook.com/Dominica National Lottery and start winning. Draw takes place every Friday.
Your style. Your taste, your look, as individual as you are. Find the furniture piece that's right for you, only at Courts. Choose from our wide selection of fresh new designs, luxurious comfort, and contemporary elegance. Best of all, it's more affordable than you think. So create the room that's all about you. Come into Courts today, where furniture is fashionable. Courts, bringing value home.
Summer 2015 is blazing hot, and Marpin 2k4 just made it hotter with special deals on our internet service. Sign in for PingNet between July 27th and September 4th to serve with us and get half off installation and half off your modem. Pay your outstanding balance and get reconnected for free, and get half off your first monthly bill. Get even more when you sign up this summer during our PingNet promotion, as Marpin 2k4 will give some lucky customers an extra reason to smile with our giveaways. Come visit us at our Roseau location to get on board our fast and reliable service. It's time to serve.
It's a summertime appearing at the atmosphere.
A world leader in manufacturing for the cutting professional, Makita's very own diamond blades provide maximum efficiency for coring, cutting, and polishing all types of masonry.
Another good product put out again by Makita.
Longer life, durability, optimum performance. Makita diamond blades provide a powerful edge that lasts.
Nothing nicer than having a good blade.
Go beyond the ordinary. Go with Makita.
Thanks for staying with us. The election of a Trinidadian to the Board of Education International could translate into more effective representation of issues affecting teachers in Dominica and the wider region.
President of the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association, Devanan Sinanan, is the third person from the Caribbean region to be elected to the Board of Education International. Sinanan, who attended the recently concluded 37th Biennial Conference of the Caribbean Union of Teachers here, says it's quite an achievement for the region's teachers to have a voice on the Board of Education International. Education International, as its name implies, promotes the cause of education around the world, representing 32 million teachers and education sector workers in more than 180 countries.
We are very delighted that there is a Caribbean voice once again on the board of EI, because while we may be a small space and a small number of people, we do have a voice. We do have very unique challenges and issues affecting education, and it is, really reassuring to know that that voice can be heard on the global stage. And that's my intention, to articulate the issues and the views and the perspective of the Caribbean on that global stage.
The recent CUT conference was a perfect forum for Sinanan to get a clear indication of the issues affecting the region's educators.
It is really delightful that I would have emerged from the CUT to, sit on the Board of Education International so that I can channel the issues at that global level if necessary and vice versa. Also, I can go out there and tap into resources that can, be made available for the development of the region through education, through the teachers, through programs with, various other partners who are more blessed with resources than we are. In fact, we do already have a number of partnerships that are already in place, and EI also does engage in direct funding of programs in the region. There are a number of programs that EI would have been engaged in. They are too numerous for me to elaborate on, and there are other partnerships that we would have engaged with other big units like the Canadian Teachers Federation, the American Federation of Teachers, the National Education Association, Lärarförbundet in Sweden, the National Union of Teachers in the UK, and the list goes on and on. And that is my objective, to go out there and make those connections for the benefit of the region.
Over 400 teachers' unions are affiliated to Education International.
And speaking of issues affecting the region's teachers, the empowerment of women remains a priority for the Caribbean Union of Teachers.
While 75 to 80% of teachers are female, this is not proportionately reflected in top-level positions. That's why a key component of the CUT conference is the issue of empowering ladies or women to take on leadership roles. Jamaican educator Judith Spencer-Jarrett is chairperson of the Status of Women's Committee.
We are socialized in the Caribbean, especially, that a male should always be the head of the house. And as such, the female can be the secretaries, they can assist with the fundraising and catering, but when it comes to the president of union, and I would like to congratulate Dominica, because I think you had the first female prime minister in the Caribbean, and you have as your head a female president of the AT, but it is not so. There are many unions right here now who have never in their 80 years or 75 years have never held a female president.
Why do you think that is so? You think, again, it's the what happens at a very early age, socialization?
Culture, and in fact, I must say that some women also do not support other women.
Do you think you're making inroads in changing
yes, we have
the
made
mindset
it inroad, of women? Because even in my own unit, whereas in 64 years, we never had a female president. Since this start of the Women's Conference in 1990, we have had 10 female presidents, albeit it's not good enough, but still it's a mark. And at the CUT executive level, there was a time when they were all males sitting up at the head table there, but now we have, I think, a balance of 50-50. So it is making inroads.
A one-day conference is held at the beginning of all conferences by Education International or at the local level to empower women and discuss the issues affecting them. While men can attend and speak at these empowerment conferences, they have no voting power at such forums.
Parliamentary representative of the Castle Bruce constituency, Johnson Drago, says he has plans to improve the education system for persons from that community.
Wednesday, August 12th will mark the beginning of activities leading up to the Castle Bruce Parish Feast on Sunday. On Wednesday night, the community will host a panel discussion with parents and students on the challenges they face in the education system.
We will be looking at the opportunities that are available in education and how do we reposition ourselves as a community to ensure that we maximize the opportunities available. Government has been investing millions in education, so we want to ensure that all Castle Bruce children succeeds.
On the panel will be principals of the Castle Bruce primary and secondary schools, a lecturer at the State College from the community, and an early childhood educator.
Some of the students are very bright students coming from challenging homes. How do we assist these families and so on in the overall parenting, care, and discipline of children? All of this we want to give sharp focus because we still believe that the main vehicle out of poverty is education, and we want to maximize the opportunities available.
Meanwhile, Drago says an award dinner on Saturday, 8th August was in recognition of some 25 people for their contribution to the community.
Whether it's through scholarships, assisting the needy, supporting the sporting programs. Take for instance, there is one family in Texas, Houston, every year during Christmas time sends a minimum of 40 packages to be delivered to the needy of Casabruce.
Going into the weekend of festivities, the Casabruce community will host 3 nights of revivals to end with High Mass on Sunday.
That's news, progress being reported on consultations towards a national sports policy. That and more in your sports highlights next.
It seems that the Dominica Amateur Basketball Association and Fast Cash Prowlers are coming to a resolution following concerns of unfair game advantage. Prowlers earlier this week submitted an official complaint to the association, voicing their displeasure with having to play all their Premier Division final games in Massac, home turf of their opponents, Detroit Blazers. DABA President Jerry Williams explained some of the reasoning behind the scheduling of the games.
What we tried for the season was to play home and away. To get the spectators back involved in basketball by taking this game outside of Roadway and outside of the normal venue. But as an executive, what we realized, because of the fact that we were lacking in regard to sponsorship for the playoffs, even when we did the All-Star, we realized that the fans were coming out and at the Massac venue. And as a result of the surface being laid, we figure it would have been a better environment for basketball. Not only a better environment, but it would allow us to raise some funds and get the game back to the level that we figure it needed to be.
He also confirmed that he had been in discussions with the Prowlers coach and came to an acceptable resolution.
And at the end of the day, for me, it's not about only me making a decision, or the executive making a decision, but also ensure that every persons involved in basketball get a fair opportunity to enjoy the game and also to produce the best basketball. So what we basically came up with, we agreed to play both tonight's game, and the first game is still stand, but tonight's game in Massac at 8 o'clock. And by the end of the game, we will indicate to them the next scheduled game. We're looking favorably at playing the other two in Trafalgar to give them again a fair advantage and to give both teams feeling that, okay, if I win the championship, I want it on fair terms.
Meanwhile, it's more than likely that the third semi-final between Kyrie FM Old School and Police Sports Club will be replayed. Police questioned their replay of the semi-final game they won last week by way of official letter, but that hasn't changed anything. President Williams, however, noted that giving every team a fair chance in basketball is only constitutional and such decisions must be taken. Sports consultant Joseph Thomas is happy with progress being made in establishing a national sports policy and council. Thomas has been hosting a series of consultations around the island over the past weeks, and the time is drawing near to release final documents.
We are at the stage now where we are counting down, if I may use that term. We have already submitted the Draft Sports Act to the ministry. We've also submitted the policy. So we're now looking at the final document. The final document is almost ready. We have a couple more visits, a couple more areas that we want to go to. We still have quite a number of places to go to, but it is really safe to say that we are almost complete with the exercise, because some of the ideas continue to come in. They're not really new, and people, even though they're continuing to give you ideas. So we expect that anytime by the end of the month we should be able to submit to government a draft document that will be a decent representation of what of the consultations and the meetings that we've been having, and to set up and in fact be operational or have operational a National Sports Council for Dominica. This is the ultimate goal. This is what we want to do.
Issues such as time off from work for athletes representing Dominica and accommodation of student athletes when they are away from school were all suggestions high on the agenda of the respective consultations. Head of Dominica's delegation at the recently concluded Special Olympics in Los Angeles, Ainsworth Irish, has high praise for the Nature Isles campaign. He told Channel 5 Sports this week how happy he was with Dominica's performance. Dominica recorded a number of medals in track and one in bocce.
In a nutshell, Dominica can say we're extremely happy. Some 7,000 athletes from 177 countries participated in the World Games in California, and a number of Dominicans who live of course, in California came to give us that support. So in a nutshell, I can tell you I'm extremely happy.
According to Irish, double gold medalist Claudius Shipley expressed his joy over winning the 100-meter and 200-meter events. He spoke on behalf of the speech and hearing impaired athlete.
Basically, what he's saying that he's extremely happy for his medals, and he's happy that the entire Dominica public is behind him, and the medals he's going to give it to he's dedicating that to the Dominica Olympic team in the sense that they really gave him the support, and he'll continue to work hard as an athlete in Special Olympics.
Finally, we could see generally fair weather conditions on Thursday. More in your weather report.
The weather is brought to you by Sagicor, wise financial thinking for life.
Good evening, viewers, and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I am your presenter, Vinnie Masley Honoré. The Atlantic high pressure system has reestablished itself across the central and northern portions of the Les Antilles, resulting in fair to partly cloudy skies. Meanwhile, weak instability continued to generate cloudy conditions across the southern portion of the chain. No rainfall was observed at the airports today. However, radar imagery continued to indicate shower activity across the southern windwards. Tonight's weather is expected to be fair to partly cloudy with some scattered showers, with temperatures expected to be as low as 22 degrees Celsius. Similar conditions can be expected into tomorrow, with temperatures peaking near 32 degrees Celsius. Sea conditions tomorrow, moderate in open water, with waves expected to pick up to 7 feet. And looking ahead, fair to partly cloudy skies with some scattered showers can be expected into Friday. However, by late Friday into Saturday, another tropical wave is expected to cross the Les Antilles, resulting in cloudy skies, showers, and possible thunderstorm activity. And across the Les Antilles tomorrow, occasional cloudy skies with some showers can be expected across the chain. And on the international scene, clear skies can be expected in New York, thunderstorm activity in Miami, London, and Caracas, and partly cloudy skies in Beijing. The sun will rise tomorrow at 5:50 a.m. and will set at 6:30 p.m. For further information, visit our website at weather.gov.dm or call the weather hotline at 447-5555. Thank you for joining us this evening. Have a good night.
Look, Mommy.
Perfect. When you've been here, you know what's important. Protect it with Sagicor. Wise financial thinking for life.
To end the news, the headlines again. Taxi drivers contemplate passing on highway maintenance levy to passengers in higher bus fares. Over 200 college students to graduate from DSC as the institution returns to a summer break commencement ceremony, and more effective representation for teachers as one of their own is elected on the Board of Education International. Feel free to send your questions and comments to news@marpin2k4.com. On behalf of the production team, I am Edona and Baptiste. Thanks for watching. Join us again tomorrow.